So my name is Abhas. I'm a lead urban specialist and I'm the program leader for disaster risk management for the World Bank for the East Asia and Pacific region. So we're presenting the main findings of a report that we launched recently called Cities and Flooding. And this is about integrated urban flood risk management for the 21st century. Um, sort of the main takeaway from the book is that, well, there are actually two, if I had to pick two. One is that because of rapid urbanization and the uncertainties posed by climate change, urban flooding is an increasing threat to development in the developing world. If you just look at the last 3 years, we've had major flooding events in Bangkok, in Ulaanbaatar, in Dakar, Senegal, in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, in Philippines, in Cagayan de Oro, just before Christmas. So it's a huge, huge issue for the developing world. And rapid urbanization is one of the key drivers of this. Urbanization, I believe, is a tremendous force for good. Cities generate growth, cities generate opportunities for jobs, but if not managed well, it also means the growth of assets and people in harm's way. So the challenge is for policymakers in how to address this issue. So the guide is a simple how-to guide for policymakers, for technical specialists working on the issue. And we start off by framing 12 principles for integrated urban flood risk management, and I won't go into all of them, but I can maybe address two here. The first is that the risk from flooding cannot be eliminated entirely. There will always be some residual risk. And that implies, in turn, that policymakers need to think about things like emergency preparedness, early warning systems. It's quite appropriate that we are here in the WMO today, which is a valuable partner on early warning systems. Our research, the World Bank's research, has found that investing in early warning systems have tremendous payoffs. I mean, it's one of the best investments that a country can make. In the case of Russia, we found that investing in hydromet services, including early warning systems, $1 invested can save up to $8 later on. So that's one takeaway. And the other, I think, major takeaway is on land use planning. We stress that land use planning has to be an integrated part of the overall governance of a city. It shouldn't be treated as something separate to be done by the planners. It has to be mainstreamed into every investment decision. And that, again, then has tremendous payoffs in terms of reduced risk from flooding. We are organizing dissemination events like the one we have here today globally. We started off in Tokyo with a regional launch in East Asia. Then we did one in Washington, D.C. We're doing one here in Geneva. And then day after tomorrow, we're doing one in Brussels for the EU. And that will be capped by a regional flood event, urban flooding event in Jakarta on May 2nd and 3rd, which is addressed to policymakers and technical specialists. Coupled with that, what we want to do is the methodology that we propose in this handbook to be mainstreamed in the investment decisions that we do at the World Bank as a lending institution, but also partner agencies like the UN, WMO, UNISDR, and other multilaterals and bilaterals like the ADB, OSAID, JICA, all of which make a number of investments in cities. We want to make sure that the methodology we propose here is mainstreamed into these investments. The trick is to get the balance right between structural and non-structural measures. What do we mean by that? Structural measures are measures that keep water away from people. Non-structural measures are things that keep the people away from the water. The idea is to get the balance right. Often policymakers err on the side of structural measures, sort of hard engineered structures like dams and dikes. They are valuable, but by itself, they do not solve the problem. The idea is to get this balance right between concrete in the ground, bioengineering, sort of things like mangrove plantation, sort of coastal strengthening, and non-structural measures like early warning systems, as I mentioned, better land use planning. So really, if I had to encapsulate the whole guide into one sentence, I would say get the balance right. Provide policymakers with tools that help them get this balance right.